Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video. Today we're trying out the PEKKA 3 Musketeer strategy. This is a super aggressive and super powerful strategy, guys. I got a request to do it a little while ago, so I'm finally able to get to that request today. But right at the start here, unfortunately, we don't have our Electric Pump in our starting hand. So we're going to go ahead and drop down our PEKKA way in the back there and start setting up a push. Now this strategy, guys, works a lot better if you have your Electric Pump in your starting hand, just because you can get that Electric flowing for late game. But right here, he drops down a PEKKA of his own. Now unfortunately, our PEKKAs are going to meet in his territory, which means he will have the defender's advantage. Now right here, I used some arrows to try and take out those goblins, but right at the last second, he dropped down a minion horde, which meant we got huge value for those arrows. But unfortunately, he does have that tower shooting my PEKKA, as well as his PEKKA is a level higher than mine. So right here, he's got a PEKKA and a bomber marching into my zone. We're going to drop down some barbarians right in the back there to take out that bomber. Now watch that, guys, there. That PEKKA, the level 4 PEKKA, one-shots my barbarians, which a level 3 PEKKA wouldn't. So right there was an example of how one level difference can make an impact on the game. But right here, he's got 2 electric pumps down. He's going to go ahead, drop down his PEKKA way in the back there. We're going to set our PEKKA way in the back of our king tower, which means hopefully the PEKKAs will meet on my zone this time here. Now at this point here, I've got a musketeers as well as a goblins in my hand here. Now I could drop down those goblins to try and distract that PEKKA, but unfortunately he has the wizard backing up his PEKKA, so that would be useless. So I'm going to go ahead and drop down my 3 musketeers, guys. Now watch how fast those 3 musketeers take out that PEKKA with the assistance of some arrows. Now right here, guys, we've got a pretty strong counter push going in there. The PEKKA will tank just long enough, allowing our 3 musketeers to go in there with the rage spell and do a huge amount of damage to that tower. That tower went all the way from full health to 100 health in just a couple of seconds with those 3 musketeers, guys. Now the really cool thing with that push, guys, is all of those troops were played in defense, and I was able to use those troops on a counter push and do some damage to that tower. So right here, we're into the double elixir period. We're gonna go ahead and drop down our second electric pump right in the middle there. He's got one more PEKKA marching up here. We're gonna drop down our own PEKKA to distract his PEKKA. Now we're gonna use some barbarians way in the back to take out that wizard. Now he tries to be sneaky here with that minion horde to go in on the right hand side, but of course we have the arrows ready for that. Now watch this, guys. Watch that bomber absolutely destroy all of those barbarians. We're gonna go ahead and follow up that PEKKA with some 3 musketeers though, guys. Now watch this. Those musketeers are going to go in there, take out that tower. He drops down a PEKKA to try and distract, but with the high damage of those musketeers, they're able to take out that PEKKA in a couple of seconds before he even has a chance to do anything. Now watch this, guys. We're doing some pretty insane damage to his king tower here, and with only 10 seconds left, he has no chance of coming back here. But unfortunately, he's going to be super annoying and prevent us from getting that 3-crown victory, which really sucks because I did need my crown chest at that point. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at another replay. So here we are with the next replay, guys. Now in this replay here, my opponent was a level 7, so I did have a slight advantage here, but this was at about 2,800 trophies, so it was rather impressive seeing a level 7 all the way up in this trophy range here. But once again, in our starting hand, we don't have the elixir pump, but I can see that my next card actually is the pump, so we're going to go ahead, waste those 1 elixir skeletons just so we can cycle through and get our pump down. Now he does have a level 1 princess, as well as you can see he has the fireball in his deck here. Now my last replay there, guys, the opponent didn't have the fireball in his deck. In fact, he didn't really have anything that was an effective counter to the 3 musketeer strategy. So in this battle here, we're going to see how I counter that fireball. Now one of the reasons why I threw in the barbarians into my deck here is because people will often throw down the fireball when they see the barbs, and if you can keep your 3 musketeers a secret until after you bait out the fireball and then go in with the 3 musketeers when somebody isn't expecting it, that's a really good way to get around the hard counter with the fireball. But right here we've got a PEKKA marching up. He's got his princess as well as a Tesla down. We're going to go ahead and use those arrows to take out that princess as well as do some damage to that Tesla. Now the great thing about that, guys, is we forced him to play that freeze to stop that PEKKA, and as you can see right here, we have a pretty big elixir advantage with 2 pumps down. Now even though our tower on the right hand side got a little bit of damage done in the opening push there, right there he wasted that fireball. So at that point in the battle there, we're halfway through the battle here and I haven't played my 3 musketeers yet. So right there I knew he wasted the fireball. We're going to start setting up a push with the 3 musketeers because I know it's not in his hand right now. We have a split push with some barbarians going down. once he played down that Dark Prince on the right hand side to defend those barbarians, that's when I dropped down the 3 musketeers on the left hand side. Now with the help of that rage spell, they are able to take out the tower in just a quick couple of seconds. So overall, really strong push on the left hand side, waiting for that fireball to be wasted and then going in with the 3 musketeers, which is an important strategy, guys, if you're facing somebody that has the fireball in their deck. Now right there, guys, that one barbarian 3 musketeer push was able to take out the left hand tower and then go on to the king tower and take it all the way down to 170 health. Now right there, guys, was another example of him wasting that fireball. Like I said, people tend to fireball barbarians, so that's why I threw it in the deck. I dropped the I dropped the barbarians from the right hand side. He fireballed that, and then I went in on the left hand side with my 3 musketeers and was able to secure the 3 crown victory. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at one final replay. So here we are with the final replay, guys. Now this opponent here did have the fireball in his deck, and it was high enough level to one-shot my musketeers. So throughout this battle here, you will see my strategy to how to counter that. But right at the start here, we drop down the elixir pump, start getting some elixir flowing. Now he makes the mistake here of fireballing the elixir pump. So right at the start of this battle, I realized that this opponent has the fireball in his deck, so I will adjust my strategy. Now my strategy, guys, for dealing with the fireball as a counter for the 3 musketeers is I try and keep my 3 musketeers as secret until the perfect opportunity, because the 3 musketeers only take a couple of seconds to go in and take out that tower. So if you can wait for the right opportunity, try and bait out that fireball and then go in with the 3 musketeers, that's a really good strategy. And that's also why I have the barbarians in my deck here. So right here we've got some barbs going in on the right hand side, as well as a P.E.KKA on the left hand side. Now unfortunately, that Inferno Tower will melt that P.E.KKA pretty quickly, but that one barbarian will do some pretty decent damage to that right tower. It's all the way down to 1700 health. Now he's got a pretty strong counter push coming back here with the Hog Rider, but fortunately some goblins as well as some skeletons will take it out. Now he fireballed my first elixir pump, so right here I'm going to try and bait it out with another elixir pump, and of course he falls for it. He drops the fireball to damage that elixir pump as well as that tower. So at this point in the battle, I knew that the fireball was out of his deck, so we're going to go ahead and start setting up a push with the 3 musketeers. We drop the P.E.KKA way in the back there, so by the time that it reaches the bridge, we will have enough elixir built up for the 3 musketeers. So watch this, guys. He's going to go ahead and start setting up a defense here with the cannon. Now the P.E.KKA is making his way up to the bridge. We're going to drop down those 3 musketeers here. Now they're following the P.E.KKA. He drops down some troops to try and distract that P.E.KKA, and he's trying desperately to cycle through to his fireball here. He's got an Inferno Tower as well as a cannon. He uses the fireball there just the last second, guys, and takes out 2 of the musketeers, but 1 musketeer is tanking that tower while the goblins go in there and finish it off. So right there, guys, in a couple of seconds, we were able to go in and take out that right hand tower. So overall, things are looking pretty good for us right here. He has a Hog Rider coming in with some skeletons. Now unfortunately, we kind of did a misclick there. We dropped that elixir pump a little bit too far off to the side, and we weren't able to distract that Hog Rider, which kind of sucks. Now right here, we've got some barbarians walking up there. We're going to just leave them, let them die. They're not strong enough to set up a push here. We're going to go ahead and set down a P.E.KKA on the right hand side, guys. Now fortunately, that Hog Rider was distracted this time. He's going to drop down a freeze sword, which is a huge waste of elixir right there. So watch this, guys. I drop down those barbarians, hoping that he'll fall for the bait and use his fireball, which of course he does. So right there, I drop down the 3 musketeers because at this point in the battle, he does not have the fireball in his deck. So we drop the rage ball there. Now watch this, guys. With 8 seconds left, he's going to do everything in his power to try and hold off for a 1 crown loss instead of letting us get the 3 crown victory, which really sucks because it did need the crown chest. But once again, guys, we were able to win with the P.E.KKA and the 3 musketeer strategies. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see some more Clash Royale stuff, make sure to subscribe. I will be putting out videos every single day. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.